What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And in this video, I love it when I get to make these kind of videos where I get to tell you I told you so. And I told you so over a year ago, and today I'm going to bring the receipts. Before I get started with the receipts, though, let me show you what I'm talking about. This article right here, from Yahoo Finance. Musk's DOGE hires Ken Griffin staffer for national security work. All right, let's stop right there for a minute. I told y'all over a year ago, Ken Griffin had a mole in his organization, and it wasn't just any mole on any level. This was somebody that was on the inside that Ken Griffin thought he could trust, but was working against him with a shadow figure. And hold on, take a look at the book. Right there, Boardroom Betrayal, GameStop Greed and Glory by the Common Sense Investor, all right? And in this story, I tell you about a shadow figure that is fighting against Ken Griffin, and he was Ken Griffin's number 2 man. His name in the book is named Jonah, all right? On page 14 of the book, we see Jonah knocking on Ken Griffin's door because Ken Griffin wants to have a meeting with him, and he tells him they've got a leak inside of Citadel and that he needs to find it. And Jonah says he's on the job, and he sets somebody else up to take the fall for what he's done, which was tried to bring the MOAS back in January. Read the book. Jonah's his number 2 man, and he works for the shadow figure. The shadow figure, he's the mastermind behind it all. And him and Ken Griffin are in battle with one another. And I thought when I wrote the story that the shadow figure was Larry Fink, but it appears now that it very well could have been Musk, who had somebody on the inside of Citadel this whole time trying to bring Ken Griffin down. And now he's coming forward, and he's going to take care of bringing Ken Griffin down. This man right here, in the book, his name is Jonah. You can get the book, you get both books. There's 2 of them. Down and pinned in the comments down below. $6 for both of them. But I tell you the story, I laid it out exactly how this was going to turn out. It was going to be DOGE. I thought it was Larry Fink, and there was a very good reason that I thought that. And perhaps Larry Fink is really the shadow figure in the book. So your next question is probably going to be, with this guy that works for Ken Griffin coming to work for DOGE, what is his goal? What is his intent? Did Ken Griffin send him in? The answer is no. All right, look at the title of the article again. Musk's DOGE hires Ken Griffin staffer for national security work. He's there for a reason, and I'm going to give you a clue as to what that reason is. Watch this clip right here.
What if I told you there is a robot that controls more wealth than any country on earth? A robot so powerful that in the last 10 years, it has quietly created the biggest company in the world. This is the story of a robot called Aladdin. This one robot directs the actions of the US Federal Reserve, almost every major bank and investment fund on Wall Street, and over 17,000 traders. It controls half of all ETFs, 17% of the bond market, 10% of the global stock market, and carries out 250,000 trades every day and billions of forecasts every week. 2008, the global financial crisis hits, and before Aladdin turns 21 years old, is called on by every Wall Street bank and Timothy Geithner, the head of the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury. As soon as Lehman Brothers collapsed and the Wall Street meltdown began, the US government came calling to save the next collapsing bank, Bear Stearns. It was Aladdin who decided which assets to keep and which to leave in the $30 billion rescue package. And few people know it was a robot that saved America from disaster.
They called Larry Fink and said, "We need your help and the help of Aladdin." All right, and they installed Aladdin into the computers necessary to begin the sell-off of things that could bring the 2008 crash to a softer landing. It couldn't be a complete soft landing because people got hurt in the process of trying to clean up the mess, but it was Larry Fink that they called to fix the problem. Now, did you know that story? Look at this headline again and tell me what you think it means. Musk's DOGE hires King Griffin staffer for what? National security work. Everybody knows that what King Griffin and the other market makers have done has caused a national security issue that could destroy this country. All these banks, as you watch Donahue George talk about, that are so over leveraged to trillions upon trillions of dollars that they don't have. And they're going to have to do something now to fix it. And what caused all the problems today? Ken Griffin's algorithm. When Ken Griffin came on the set with his ABC algorithm, and it completely took over the financial world, people. He controlled all the volume of the market. When I say he, I'm referring to all market makers, but he's the biggest one. He was the one bragging that I told y'all about on LinkedIn that said he's the #1 dog. So they call in the one who made the mess to fix the mess. That's what this man's doing, working with DOGE right now, people. They know the situation is bad. Our voice has gotten too loud. All right? They cannot ignore all of us anymore. It's AMC, GME, MMTLP. It's Sundial, if you can remember that far back. It's Highcroft. All this stuff has to be unwound. And everybody that they put up for the SEC chair has refused the job except for one, and they said that it was too difficult to unwind. That is in too bad a shape. They don't even want to take the job, even Patrick Byrne. So, there's only one person else to go. You go to the person that caused the problem and you say, fix this shit, like they did in 2008. So that's what he's doing, working with DOGE. They know the fraud is there, and yes, people will go to jail behind the fraud, but he's there to help unwind it, just like it did in 2008. Watch the clip again. Love y'all, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.
What if I told you there is a robot that controls more wealth than any country on earth? A robot so powerful that in the last 10 years, it has quietly created the biggest company in the world. This is the story of a robot called Aladdin. This one robot directs the actions of the US Federal Reserve, almost every major bank and investment fund on Wall Street, and over 17,000 traders. It controls half of all ETFs, 17% of the bond market, 10% of the global stock market, and carries out 250,000 trades every day and billions of forecasts every week. 2008, the global financial crisis hits, and before Aladdin turns 21 years old, is called on by every Wall Street bank and Timothy Geithner, the head of the Federal Reserve and the US Treasury. As soon as Lehman Brothers collapsed and the Wall Street meltdown began, the US government came calling to save the next collapsing bank, Bear Stearns. It was Aladdin who decided which assets to keep and which to leave in the $30 billion rescue package. And few people know it was a robot that saved America from disaster.